Next up, we have Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. Now, I I grew up watching Nickelodeon back in the late 90s, around 1998. And you have a good amount of Nicktoons that are playable here, like Bobby Esponja Schwammkopf, Lincoln Loud, Ren and, Ren and Stimpy, Powdered Toast Man, Aang from Avatar, Korra from The Legend of Korra, the 2012 representation of the TMNT, among various others. Then Rocco and Heifer from Rocco's Modern Life, which, in my opinion, is just a blatant Oxtails ripoff. Next up, we have Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 und 2, being Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 and 2. The original Puyo Puyo Tetris on the Switch in the US release does not have Japanese voice acting anywhere, but Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 does have it. But none of them have Japanese text. Just text in other languages: English, French, Spanish, and German. But they're really fun puzzle games. Trust me, I am a monster when it comes to Puyo Puyo. Next up, we have Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition, which is actually Tales of Vesperia Remaster in Japan. It's a really fun RPG, especially with the stellar Japanese voice cast, as long as the subtitles are in German. Highly recommended. Next, we have Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. It's a really fun rice growing simulator with RPG and platforming elements, almost like a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Because I love me some platformers and I love me some RPGs. But I'm not really too crazy about farming simulators, but this is an exception right here, because I love Japanese culture. Then other cultures from other parts of Asia, like China, South Korea, and Taiwan. Next up, we have Cars 3 Driven to Win, based off the third movie in the Cars series. And this is the only time in the series where Mater is not voiced by Larry the Cable Guy, but they found someone who sounded very close to him. If I'm lying, I'm crying. Really fun racing game. Next, we have Super Mario 3D World plus Fury World. Even though it says Bowser's Fury in the American and European versions, I call it by its Japanese name, which is Fury World. Hence why I always called the main Mario antagonist King Koopa, thanks to the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. It's a really fun 3D platformer. Then it also has a remixed version of Mario Bros. Called Luigi Brothers. But unlike the Wii U version, where you had the save data of the Luigi U expansion, in the Switch version of the game, you actually have to beat the game once in order to unlock that particular 8-bit arcade game. But still a lot of fun. Next, we have Persona 5 Strikers, a really fun action role-playing game. It's basically Dynasty Warriors, but with a Persona coat of paint. And if you can't really tell, this is actually the European version, hence why it has the 16 rating, which is basically their version of rated T for teen, or mature. Because it's a European import. Next up, we have Dragon Ball Z Kakarot plus a new power set, because it actually contains the first two DLC packs already on the cartridge, based off Kami to Fukatsu no F. It's a really fun action RPG with some fighting game elements. And I just love Sean Schemmel's performance as Son Goku. Then his original Seiyu, Masako Nozawa. Next up, we have Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, which is basically Dynasty Warriors, but with the Breath of the Wild theme. Another really fun game to play, especially with the German dialogue with Japanese subtitles and vice versa, at least in my opinion. Then the Castilian Spanish translation with Latin American Spanish subtitles, because I just love hearing different voices from around the world. Next up, we have Capcom Fighting Collection, a compilation of 10 different Capcom fighting games, 5 of them being Darkstalkers. The other games in the collection are Cyberbots, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Gem Fighter, and Red Earth. Really fun collection of fighting games on the Nintendo Switch from Capcom. And they actually added simplified controls. That way it makes the moves and ultimate attacks more easier to pull off. Next up, we have Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, a really fun rhythm game that has both Disney and Final Fantasy elements in it. And it says rated 12 on here, which is basically Europe's equivalent to rated E10 for ages 10 and up. Because this is another European import instead of the North American version. Now, you have a lot of songs from various parts of Kingdom Hearts, and a lot of classic Disney elements like Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, which is El Rey León in Spain and Mexico, Mulan, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Tangled, Frozen, among various others. You know, let it go, let it go. Yeah, I'm sure that song's been remixed and rearranged many, many times. And I can't get that song out of my head because it's so catchy, even though I'm a 34-year-old adult. Next up, we have Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, Road to Boruto. The reason why I wanted the Switch version of the game, because it was never released physically in retail in North America, unlike the PS4 and Xbox One versions. Hence why it has the 12 rating on here. You know, Peggy 12. But it has a lot of content on the cartridge, including the 2 new playable characters, Momoshiki and Kinshiki, plus 11 costumes for 11 existing characters, like Tenten, Hinata, Ino, and Choji. Then Konkuro and Tamari. Yep, all the DLC that have been in various packs are actually included on here, on the physical cartridge, including the four of the 5 members of the Sound 5 Ninja, It's a really great fighting game with a great gameplay mechanic. Next up, we have Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. All 9 films redone entirely from scratch, instead of remaking the old PS2 games. Now, this is notable for the inclusion of mumble mode, but I'm not really a fan of that. But still, this is a really great game that pretty much has all 9 movies on one cartridge. Recommend it if you're a fan of Star Wars or Lego. Next up, we have Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is actually Hoshinokabi Discovery, which pretty much translates as Kirby of the Stars Discovery. It's a really fun 3D Kirby game that gets challenging as the game progresses, but you have that unique risk versus reward kind of system. And just look at Kirby. He's just so cute. What? I love me some Kirby. I still have yet to get around to getting Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe and Kirby Star Allies, mostly because of Japanese support for the North American copies. Next up, we have Bob Esponja Schwammkopf: The Cosmic Shake, a really fun video game based off the popular cartoon show. But my only recommendations is having the German dubbed audio with Japanese subtitles in the Brazilian Portuguese dubbed soundtrack with its corresponding subtitles. Because there are no Swedish subtitles anywhere for the Brazilian Portuguese audio. But thankfully, it has the German dubbed audio track with Japanese subtitles, the way it was originally intended, at least for me. Because of Santiago Ziesmer and Wendell Bezerra in their respective dubs, being German and Brazilian Portuguese, Deutsch and Português do Brasil. Next up, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection. This is a collection of 13 classic games based off the popular cartoon show from 1987 to 1996. I remember watching the cartoon when it was on CBS at the time, when CBS was using their killer stereo sound system at the time. Yep, CBS really took full advantage of the sound capabilities. And the video games based off the show really has that distinct sound. And the final game I have to show you for now, hope to get more in the future, is Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival. Another really fun rhythm game. Especially with some of the songs in here, like Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and Tonari no Totoro, being the Japanese version of My Neighbor Totoro. And it also has a song from my favorite Studio Ghibli film, Kiki's Delivery Service, but that's locked behind a paywall. But it's still a really fun rhythm game. I highly recommend it for anyone who loves Japanese culture as much as I do. Okay, that should be it for the video for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, comment, and as always, amigos, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, adios, and arrivederci. And make sure you click that bell icon so you'll get notified when I upload new videos. And I'll be back with another video shortly, so stay tuned. And don't touch that dial.